We all know there are some songs you just don't touch, because they're already perfect. But some artists dared to reinvent them anyway, and the results were an absolute train wreck. Today, we're counting down 13 rock classic covers that should have never seen the light of day. So bad, in fact, that even the original creators ended up hating them. And trust me, once you hear them, you'll understand exactly why. Let's dive in. Number 13. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Stairway to Heaven is the holy grail of classic rock. Released by Led Zeppelin in 1971 as an 8-minute progressive masterpiece written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, its cryptic lyrics and crescendo structure turned it into a near-spiritual experience for rock fans everywhere. That's why, when Dolly Parton decided to cover it in 2002, complete with banjos and a gospel choir, many felt she'd crossed a line.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow.
While he never said it outright, Jimmy Page hinted that Dolly had tamed the track, stripping away its mystical edge. Robert Plant was more diplomatic, be it still through a subtle jab, saying, "There are some songs that don't need a second voice to fly."
Oh, it makes me wonder.
Even though Parton asked for permission and insisted she did it out of pure respect, the result split the audience down the middle. Some praised her boldness, while others saw it as nothing short of musical sacrilege. Number 12. Light My Fire by The Doors. Light My Fire, released in 1967, was The Doors' first major breakthrough. With its haunting organ intro, psychedelic solos, and Jim Morrison's unmistakable vocals, the track became a symbol of freedom and rebellion, one of the definitive anthems of the hippie movement. Decades later, in 2002, British singer Will Young, fresh off the reality show Pop Idol, released a sanitized, polished version with smooth backing vocals and a soul pop twist.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
The backlash was instant. Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist and architect of The Doors' sound, called the cover disrespectful, accusing the industry of packaging a transcultural song in commercial cellophane. He added, visibly annoyed, "The original was pure fire. Will Young turned it into a scented candle."
Come on, baby, light my fire.
To the surviving members of the band, it was a total betrayal of the song's psychedelic and countercultural essence. Number 11. Anarchy in the UK by Sex Pistols. Anarchy in the UK was the battle cry of British punk in 1976. With its gritty sound, provocative message, and Johnny Rotten's snarl, the Sex Pistols set the scene on fire with a track that didn't just challenge the system, it spat right in its face. 15 years later, Motley Crue, the poster boys of California glam metal, covered the anthem for their Decade of Decadence compilation. The result was so polished and theatrical that it ignited Johnny Rotten's fury. He went as far as calling it an empty joke made by leather-clad clowns. He accused them of completely stripping the song's political weight, turning it into a mere marketing product. Punk fans trashed the cover, seeing it as a cheap caricature of the original. For Rotten, it wasn't a tribute, it was a betrayal. He famously said, "Punk was born to destroy things like Motley Crue, not to be imitated by them. If you've ever heard one of these covers and felt they butchered the original, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here to defend the soul of real rock. Let's keep the list moving." Number 10. Wonderwall by Oasis.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it.
Wonderwall is arguably the most recognizable song in the Oasis catalog. Released in 1995 and penned by Noel Gallagher, it's a melancholic acoustic ballad laced with signature Brit-pop swagger. To this day, it's the song every beginner guitarist tries to play. and every Oasis fan knows by heart. But in 2003, American singer-songwriter Ryan Adams dropped a radically different cover, slow, introspective, and stripped back, leaning more toward somber folk than British pop.
I don't believe that anybody feels.
Noel Gallagher's reaction was immediate and biting. He turned Wonderwall into a pile of crap. He stripped away the British essence, the melodic arrogance, and the 90s pub spirit.
I said maybe.
However, the irony wasn't far behind. His brother and original vocalist, Liam, declared that he actually preferred Adams' version over Oasis's. In the never-ending fraternal boxing match of the Gallaghers, this cover didn't just divide the fans, it divided the authors themselves. Number 9. The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The Sound of Silence, released in 1965, is an intimate, melancholic folk ballad that launched Simon and Garfunkel into stardom. Written by a young Paul Simon, the song captures modern-day isolation through understated poetry and serene vocal harmonies.
Seeds while I was sleeping.
Its power lies precisely in what's not said, in the empty spaces and the subtlety of two voices intertwined over an acoustic guitar.
In the sound of silence.
In 2015, the metal band Disturbed shocked everyone with a dramatic, dark orchestral cover. David Draymond's intense vocal performance was widely acclaimed by the public, but not by the original creators. Paul Simon called it an emotional overkill that stripped the song of its minimalist essence. Art Garfunkel was even more blunt. While he acknowledged Draymond's vocal range, he argued the cover turned poetic sadness into a declaration of war. He capped it off by saying, "It's not silence if you're screaming it with an orchestra behind you."
of silence.
The audience was torn. Some saw it as a masterful reinvention, while others felt it was a soulless, over-the-top production. One thing is certain. In this version, the silence stopped being a whisper and became a thunderclap. Number 8. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Nothing Else Matters, released in 1992, is one of the most intimate and vulnerable tracks Metallica has ever recorded. James Hetfield wrote it while grappling with homesickness on tour, stepping away from the fury of thrash metal to dive into a deeply nostalgic and emotional melody. It quickly became one of the band's most iconic and frequently played anthems. But in 2021, the narrative shifted. Miley Cyrus released her own take for the 30th anniversary tribute of the Black Album, backed by heavyweights like Elton John, Yo-Yo Ma, and Chad Smith. While some saw it as a fitting tribute, James Hetfield wasn't sold. He felt the song, which was so deeply personal to him, had been turned into a polished commercial product that lacked raw emotion. Kirk Hammett was even more vocal, calling the performance too calculated and detached from the grit of metal. Lars Ulrich, on the other hand, publicly defended it, seeing an opportunity to connect with a new generation and praising Miley's respectful delivery. In the end, the cover didn't just split the fan base, it divided Metallica itself. Number 7. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit didn't just define a decade, it was the explosion of grunge and the anthem for a generation tired of superficiality. With its iconic distorted riff and Kurt Cobain's raw, shredded vocals, the 1991 track captured youth apathy with unmistakable force. But in 1992, singer-songwriter Tori Amos dropped a radically different version, just voice and piano, slow, somber, and ethereal.
With the lights on.
To some, it was an introspective tribute. To others, an emotional heresy. The reaction from the Nirvana camp was anything but kind. Bassist Krist Novoselic said it sounded like a woman crying while playing a piano in an empty hotel at 2 in the morning.
I feel stupid.
Dave Grohl didn't hold back either, remarking with a dry, dismissive irony. Some bands cover Nirvana, and it's absolutely ridiculous, almost like a desecration. Tori Amos's version was okay. It was pretty funny. She can do whatever she wants. Amos explained her intent was to reveal the hidden vulnerability beneath the song's fury, but many fans felt it betrayed the track's rebellious spirit. Ultimately, it was a cover that, rather than bridging two worlds, pitted them against each other in a total standoff. Number 6, Walk This Way by Aerosmith. Walk This Way started as an Aerosmith funk rock classic in 1975. But its true cultural explosion came in 1986 when the band teamed up with Run DMC. That hybrid version shattered the barriers between rock and rap, revitalizing Aerosmith's career and ushering in a new era of genre-bending fusions. Fast forward to 2007, when two British girl groups, Girls Aloud and Sugababes, joined forces to cover the track as a charity single for comic relief. What was meant to be an energetic tribute ended up as a bland, soulless product. Joe Perry didn't mince words. It wasn't rock, and it wasn't rap. It was just plastic and empty. Steven Tyler was more diplomatic, stating that if someone was going to cover that song, they needed to do it with brute force, not polished production and choreographed poses. Both musicians reportedly loathed the cover, and the public reception wasn't much better. Despite hitting number 1 in the UK, it was panned by critics and quickly forgotten. Number 5, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles.
Picture yourself in a boat.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is one of the crown jewels of 1967's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. With its dreamlike structure, psychedelic imagery, and that unmistakable organ track, the song, penned by John Lennon after being inspired by a drawing from his son Julian, captured the trippy spirit of an entire era.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
But in 1968, actor William Shatner decided it would be a good idea to recite it. In his album The Transformed Man, he performed the song as a dramatic monologue, with a level of over-the-top theatricality that bordered on delirium.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Upon hearing it, Lennon was reportedly flabbergasted, calling it an act of cosmic violence against the song. Paul McCartney was more diplomatic, but no less blunt. It crosses the fine line between experimental and ridiculous.
With tangerine trees and...
George Harrison described it as a nightmarish caricature, while Ringo Starr, with his trademark dry wit, joked, "If Shatner ever covers Yellow Submarine, I'm retiring from music." For many fans, the cover became a cult favorite, but only as a piece of unintentional comedy. Number 4, Every Breath You Take by The Police. Every Breath You Take, released by The Police in 1983, is a beautiful ballad that hides a dark lyric about obsession and control. Sting wrote it in the middle of a divorce, and although many mistook it for a love song, he himself described it as sinister.
Every step you take.
In 1997, Sean Diddy Combs and Faith Evans released I'll Be Missing You as a tribute to the late Notorious Big, using The Police's iconic riff and melody without ever asking for permission.
Still living your life after death.
The track became a global smash, but Sting only found out once it had already hit number 1. Infuriated, he took legal action and walked away with 100% of the publishing royalties. "They turned my song into a funeral dirge without even consulting me," he later remarked. But But the most outraged was Andy Summers, the guitarist who actually created that legendary riff. He was neither consulted nor compensated. It was a total rip-off, he declared. Although Sting and Diddy eventually made peace, even performing together live, the controversy remains one of the clearest examples of musical appropriation, with million-dollar checks caught in the middle. And what about you, fellow rocker? Which of these covers do you think was the biggest insult to the original's legacy? Let me know in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. Number 3, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Few songs in rock history hold the sacred status of Bohemian Rhapsody. Penned by Freddie Mercury and released by Queen in 1975, this 6-minute mini-opera, with no chorus, abrupt stylistic shifts, and one of Brian May's most iconic guitar solos, is considered by many to be completely untouchable. But in 2015, Kanye West decided to go for it. During his headlining set at the Glastonbury Festival, he grabbed the mic and began to belt out the legendary anthem over Queen's original backing track.
I just killed a man.
The result was a wave of off-key notes, forgotten lyrics, and a crowd caught between confusion and pure second-hand embarrassment. Brian May didn't stay silent. He described the performance as painful and bewildering, expressing his frustration that Kanye neither asked for permission nor gave the band a heads up. He completely destroyed the song, the guitarist said, stung by seeing his masterpiece turned into what many called a failed karaoke act. Number 2, Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses. Sweet Child O' Mine was born almost by accident in 1987, when Slash improvised a riff that instantly hooked the rest of the band. What started as a joke ended up becoming Guns N' Roses' biggest commercial hit, eventually reaching number 1 in the US and catapulting them to superstardom by 1988. In 1999, Sheryl Crow covered the track for the Big Daddy movie soundtrack, giving it an acoustic, softer, and more contemplative twist. While critics were divided, a firestorm erupted among rock purists who felt the song's soul had been replaced by a polished, toothless production. Duff McKagan, GNR's original bassist, didn't hold back. It was an insult to the original energy. They stripped away the grit, the rawness, the electric soul. They turned Dynamite into cotton candy. Although Crow won a Grammy for the cover and defended it as a respectful, feminine take, many die-hard fans still rank it among the worst rock covers of all time. Number 1, Faith by George Michael. Faith, released in 1987, was George Michael's first massive solo hit after leaving Wham. An infectious blend of pop rock and modern rockabilly, the song combined vocal elegance, a danceable beat, and a playful yet sincere attitude. Its lyrics spoke of desire, self-control, and emotional vulnerability, all wrapped in a minimalist, sophisticated production that reflected the artist's polished style. In 1998, Limp Bizkit, the new metal band known more for rage than subtlety, covered Faith, transforming it into a whirlwind of distorted guitars, screams, and bratty rebellion.
But I gotta think twice before.
Fred Durst spat out the lyrics with fury, turning the original chorus into a battle cry for the mosh pit. Upon hearing it, George Michael confessed that something just didn't click, and felt the song's elegance had been buried under distortion and misdirected testosterone. Guitarist Wes Borland was even more blunt. George always hated us for recording that cover. While the track became Limp Bizkit's first major breakthrough and opened the doors to the mainstream, for many fans of the original pop masterpiece, It was nothing short of musical vandalism. And if you were shocked to see how some covers triggered such backlash from their own creators, just wait until you discover the songs you didn't even know were versions to begin with. In the next video, I'm revealing 10 famous rock songs you had no clue were covers. Click right here and I'll see you there, fellow rocker.